श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम 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 श्री राम जय 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 राम। श्री राम जय राम 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 जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम
जय
जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। ओम श्री राम जय राम Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri 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 Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Hari Om, pranams to everybody. Hari Om, Hari Om. For a change today, we will go through the vision for February. It starts with Papa's poem. Bow to the Lord, rack not thy brains, with the why and the wherefore of things that perish and events that pass. Let not worldly wisdom and learning academic inflate thee with pride. Bend and bow to the decrees of the Lord, the Almighty, the All-Wise, will seize the world. Be meek, calm, resigned. Permit His light and power to shine out of thee, and still the stormy waves of passions within and without. Still the stormy waves of passions and within and without. Bow to the Lord, rack not thy brains, with the why and wherefore of things that perish and events that pass. Let not worldly wisdom and learning academic inflate thee with pride. Bend and bow to the decrees of the Lord. The Almighty, All-Wise God's will, says the world. Be meek, calm, resigned. Permit His light and power to shine out of thee, and still the stormy waves of passions within and without thee. Editorial. Our educational system must remain integral to our collective progress, register a perceptible impact on our cultural environment, renew its commitment to the living values, and regain its exalted relevance as an avenue for character building. Today, what our learning community would be expecting is an environment that inspires self-confidence, invigorates thoughtful discussions, ignites a passion of learning, induces one to think big and dream high, introduces new approaches to problem solving, and invigilates any wrongdoing without being judgmental. Indeed, it is an exciting challenge. This month's issue of the vision touches upon the various aspects of education. Papa says, education should be all round in its character, and it should bring about a transformation in us from the sheer human to the supreme divine. Aim of education by Papa. Education is an important factor in the evolution of human life. It helps us to regulate our lives and make ourselves useful to our fellow beings. The purpose of schools and colleges should be to impart education, not merely for the development of the intellect, but also for the enlargement of the heart. Ramdas may quote here a famous line from teaching of Swami Vivekananda. He says, education is the unfoldment of the perfection which is already in man. Life should unfold itself for revealing its inherent glory through the cultivation of the highest virtues that elevate it through the right kind of education and culture. While the intellect is filled with true wisdom, the heart must respond to the finest feelings of compassion, forgiveness, and kindness towards all beings in the world. The heart should be our guide. Intellect should fulfill the ideals which the heart sets before us. Education should enable us to live for the good of others. All the God-given gifts should be utilized for the service of the needy and the distressed. This is the one great purpose with which we are born as human beings. Head and heart. Swami Vivekananda's vision on education. Swami Vivekananda firmly believed that education is something more than merely passing examinations and getting some employment. He said, what is education? Is it book learning? No. It is diverse knowledge. Now, is it diverse knowledge? Not even that. The training by which the current and expression of will are brought under control and become fruitful, that is called education. The training by which the current and expression of will, the current of the will and expression of the will are brought under control and become fruitful, that is called education. He further said, to me, the very essence of education is concentration of mind, not the collecting facts. If I had to do my education over again and had any voice in the matter, I would not study facts at all. I would develop the power of concentration and detachment, and then with a perfect instrument, I could collect facts at will. So education, if it has to be complete and worthwhile, must train the students in values of cultural and spiritual dimensions. It must train the mind, strengthen the willpower of the students. It must transmit the power and infuse inspiration to have life-building, man-making, character-making assimilation of ideas, through which character is formed, strength of mind is increased, intellect is expanded, and one can stand on one's own feet. Education for expansion. The word education, derived from the Latin word educare, means to bring up. It is meant to bring to the forefront the latent knowledge and potentialities as well as kinship within each person. Education encourages questioning, exploration, critical thinking. Thus, education is an important factor in the evolution of human life. In fact, education begins right from our very birth, and it never actually stops until you die. Education awards us with two types of wisdom. One is on the material plane and the other on the spiritual plane. The role of material knowledge touches and kindles creativity, helps to improve the standard of living. At the same time, spiritual knowledge ensures humaneness at every stage of its journey. In other words, education should impart knowledge not merely for the development of the intellect, but also for the expansion of the heart. Though the present education is delivered to everyone uniformly in a prescribed manner, assimilation varies from person to person. When we closely analyze this, we realize this is because of the inherent aptitude, taste, temperament, preferences of each individual. Depending upon these factors, the process of acquiring knowledge, developing the powers of reasoning and judgment get kindled in the individual. It is important to remember that education is not merely for the development of the intellect, but also the heart, the humaneness. It is a means to better oneself and also to create a better world around. UNESCO has therefore chartered the 4 pillars of education, which is designed to provide a comprehensive framework for education that goes beyond the mere acquisition of knowledge and base for one's career. It seeks to address the broader needs of individuals and society. 4 pillars of education: learning to know, learning to do, learning to live together, learning to be. Our current educational system mostly focuses on the first 2 pillars, namely learning to know and learning to do. But the third and fourth pillar, learning to live together and learning to be, are greatly relevant today as we live in a fast changing world, often torn apart between cultural conflicts among people and communities. The first 2 pillars are centered around the individual me, whereas the other 2 pillars, learning to live together and learning to be, focus on a sense of togetherness, we, through interconnectedness, interdependence, interrelatedness. Integration of all the 4 pillars. Here is an inspiring incident. Have you heard this inspiring news story about a courageous woman pilot, Captain Urmila Yadav? This happened on 10th June 2012. As the Air India plane lost a nose wheel mid-air, she swiftly made a skillful, safe emergency landing, saving the lives of all 53 people aboard. Her skill and training, the products of the 2 pillars, learning to know and learning to do, instilled the confidence in her to maneuver the aircraft dexterously. Her equipoise and concern for the welfare of the passengers, the result of the last 2 pillars, learning to live together and learning to be, helped her tide over the trying circumstances. Swami Vivekananda said, education is the unfoldment of the perfection which is already in man. And therefore, beloved Papa said, life should unfold itself for revealing its inherent glory through the cultivation of the highest virtues that elevate it through the right kind of education and culture. Thus, we can conclude that for education to become a transformative force in various dimensions of life, aspects like creativity and humaneness need to be given due importance. Words of Abdul Kalam. Learning gives creativity, creativity leads to thinking, thinking provides knowledge, knowledge makes you great. Editor answers. Question. We all know that academic excellence plays a vital role in ensuring success in life. Nowadays we hear that human values are also to be given importance. Is it necessary? Answer, yes. It is believed that education is the foundation for a career. When we hear about values, it is treated as an independent factor. It is true that education is a means to bring out the potentialities lying dormant in us. At the same time, we should know that we are what we are purely because of the bounteous contributions of our co-creations. When we realize this, we try to develop a loving relationship with all, which is termed as moral, social, ethical values. Even the process of building a career is founded on everything provided by our co-creations, field of employment, the know-how, materials, etc. This makes it clear that we need the support of our co-creations at every step in our life. So when we try to balance our welfare through career and the right relationship with co-creations, life becomes peaceful and prosperous. Hence, integration of values with academics is a must. Then alone can ensure that values become our second nature. Dear children, Mr. Walmer, an executive of the company producing the famous blueberry ice cream, was addressing a gathering of 290 teachers when he said, "If I ran my business the way you people operate your schools, I would not be in business very long." He continued to look down upon teachers in his 90-minute speech. As soon as he finished, a teacher's hand shot up and she said, "We are told, sir, that you manage a company that makes good ice cream. When you are standing on your receiving dock and you see an inferior shipment of blueberries arrive, what do you do?" He replied, "I send them back." She instantly replied, "That is right, we can never send back our blueberries. We take them big, small, rich, poor, gifted, exceptional, abused, frightened, confident, homeless, rude, brilliant. We take them all. Everyone. And that, Mr. Walmer, that is why it is not a business. It is a school." And so began his long transformation. He then realized that a school is not a business. Schools are unable to control the quality of their raw material. The most important thing learned was that schools reflect the attitudes, beliefs, health of the communities they serve. Learning from the school of life. Unveiling the inherent human values from frequently used articles. Nothing is irrelevant, nothing is unimportant, nothing is insignificant. Because everything has come from him. Let us see what Papa says. Who really desires to enter the path of self-control for the attainment of God? Who really desires to enter the path of self-control for the enlightenment of God should keep his eyes wide open and keenly observe around him the outstanding and unique natural capacities manifest both in the animal and human kingdom. Behold signs of unerring guidance from the mysterious workings of nature. Every object used by us on a daily basis is a gift from God because it is He who has revealed Himself in various objects through His chosen instruments. Besides, the qualities of the originator are inherent in the creation, and therefore let us explore what each object conveys through its existence. We were prompted to bring this corner in vision so that whatever we use, right from the moment we get up in the morning till we retire. Actually, we were discussing about remembrance yesterday, It is not a part-time affair. It is a full-time. That is why God is providing us everything. Not only through the five
senses,
elements, five elements: air, water, earth, space, fire. They are all universal, no? The me and mine does not come at all. It's available to everybody, equally. Similarly, all that we use, think. Because we don't know who has conceptualized this, who has put in efforts to translate the concept into a reality. And who is the beneficiary? All of us. Here are a couple of examples. Water. It adapts to every shape, every color, every flavor. This glass means this glass. This means It will not say no. Flexibility, no? When we scoop out a few spoons of water from a glass, it does not leave a dent. Very important thing. It levels itself immediately. Its fluidity and adaptability convey equanimity. You put salt, it becomes salt water. You put sugar, it becomes sugar water. If you put spicy, it becomes spicy water. Put lemon, it becomes lemon water. Put anything bitter, it becomes bitter water. Flexibility. Unconditional service. It shows us that in trying circumstances, we need to gain composure and become level-headed in the shortest possible time. That leveling, for those who have been hearing through Satsang, for the people who are hearing for the first time, many decades ago, when we were drawing water from the well, we have to draw like this. Previously, there was not even a pulley. We have to dip and take it. Very strenuous, very risky also. But later on, pulley was there. So we do like this. One day, when we were drawing water with the help of a bucket, suddenly we were prompted to look, because we were all agriculturists, Apart from working in company, we were born as a farmer. So we used to dig anything, to take a pit to plant anything. We will feel a dent there, when you remove. But when we lifted the water, we don't find. The leveling does by itself, like this in a trice. We cannot even trace that we have taken the water. So now when we take 1 spoon of water from the glass, we will not see that. What does it signify? It shows that in trying circumstances, we need to gain composure and become level-headed in the shortest possible time. Then clock. It keeps ticking, no matter what. We can learn time management from it. It also conveys that perseverance is the keynote for success, and therefore we need to tirelessly carry on. Punctuality, it reminds. In ashram, Puja Mataji was very particular about timing. Everything goes according to. 5 o'clock means 5 o'clock. 6 o'clock means 6 o'clock. 5:30 means 5:30, Suppose we are working, my time. A session would have started, So the self-control, automatic, who does it? This one, wall clock or a timepiece. Early morning you want to get up at 4:30 or 5 o'clock. Who helps you? You have given an appointment. How do you keep up the appointment? Think about it. How much it related to a successful relationship with the others. So this month we covered clock, and there could be many dimensions. These are food for thoughts. Water. Homage to luminaries. We may not be able to bring everybody into this, but we have now decided that in our vision we will bring a few words about some luminaries, so that we will remember them and develop our love and respect for them. Saints are embodiments of God Himself. So as far as possible, as aspirants, we need to revere them, listen intently to their words of advice, and strive to act up to them. One more word is there. God facilitates us to have this satsang. This month we reverentially pay our respects to Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and Sri Gondavalikar Maharaj. 18th February of 2024 is the 188th Jayanti of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. His life was an epitome of a God-intoxicated state. He taught that the ultimate reality can be realized through various paths, and therefore said, as many face, so many paths. 19th February 2024 is the 179th Jayanti of Sri Brahma Chaitanya Gondavalikar Maharaj. He was a great votary of the divine name, and therefore stated the confluence of name and God, and faith in Him gives rise to devotion to God. Confluence of name of God and faith in Him gives rise to devotion to God. Year-end program 2023. The year-end programs in Anandashram, which were held from 23rd to the 31st of December, went off blissfully by the grace of beloved Papa. A good number of devotees from different parts of the country and a few from abroad joyfully participated in the session. Gita Jayanti, 23rd December being the Gita Jayanti day, made us realize that Mother Gita will enter into us only when we try to connect the exhortations of the shlokas with our daily life. Based upon the following topics, shlokas were selected. Move from stress to serenity, chapter 2, shlokas 14 and 15. Realize the truth of interconnectedness and interdependence, chapter number 3, shloka number 11. Strive for excellence in everything, chapter number 2, shloka number 50. Bring spirituality into our daily life, chapter 7, shloka 9, chapter 10, shloka 22, chapter 13, shloka 7. Achieve harmony at home, workplace and friend circle, chapter number 13, shlokas 27-28, chapter number 12, shlokas 3 and 4, chapter number 5, shlokas 25, chapter number 17, shlokas 14, 15 and 16. Maintain equanimity, chapter 2, shloka 48. Satsang sessions. Apart from Ramnam and Bhajans, Satsang sessions were held every day based on Virat Papa's thought-provoking words on the various aspects of sadhana. The base text for the session was the book With My Master. A few points that were touched upon during the sessions are reproduced below. Always try to remember his assurance that yoga and kshema would be bestowed upon those who rely on him exclusively. Ramnam helps in reminding ourselves of this aspect. Nama is chanted to remember him. Remembrance is to connect ourselves with him, which will gradually enable us to move from me to we. While living in or visiting an ashram, the entire time should be faithfully utilized only for remembering God and not for carrying on with our usual thinking pattern. Though all devotees express their keenness to realize him, still the commitment to take a plunge seems to be lacking. When we are subjected sufferings and diseases, we should avoid identifying with it totally and take it as a part of life's journey provided by him. Ram's will should be felt in all activities during our waking state and not limited to our labeled spiritual practice alone. Papa throws light on this matter thus. His will is that after tea, Ramdas should go to the carpenter's shed and see the work that is going on there and then come over to Panchavati, take a short stroll, then sit in the chair, await the evening mail. More of it we will take it up. That has touched and kindled and given us so many clarity. Importance of Sannyas Day made us realize that it is for us, his spiritual children, that the ashram was set up. Else they would have, that Papa Mataji would have, continued their way in their itinerant life as carefree children of God. This day also made us renew our commitment to hold on to the holy and all-powerful Ramnam by getting initiated again by beloved Papa. Take-home messages. Beloved Papa said, in this world play, there is one power at work, one consciousness that witnesses all its movements, one intelligence that guides and controls all affairs. In fact, one spiritual radiance which is flooding the entire earth. This power and radiance is God, and his will ever triumphs. Power stands for the life force within and without. Primordial intelligence is responsible for creature comforts that make life comfortable and convenient. and it is consciousness that enlivens everything. The abbreviation LIC, so that the right relationship can be cultivated between man, universe, and God. So LIC and MUG, LIC and MUG can connect ourselves with these themes. In memoriam, Srimati Radha Reddy, aged 78, an ardent devotee of the ashram from London, was called by Birod Papa on the 8th January 2024 after a prolonged illness. We pray for Birod Papa's blessings on the dear departed soul for eternal rest and peace at his holy feet. Anandashram News, 15,500 crore Namajapa Yajna for world peace. The total japa received in the fourth round of the 15,500 crore Namajapa Yajna in the month of December is 200 crores chanted by 1,53,516 devotees. The grand total of the japa done so far in this round now stands at 1,410 crores. Session with children at Anand Kudir. In the month of December, 6 interactive sessions were held with children at Anand Kudir, in which 277 students participated. Some of the points shared by the children were that they would be useful to others and not get involved in bad things, make friends with everyone in class regardless of caste, creed, not use harsh words with anyone, and would love nature, try to hear, speak and learn good things. Book in focus. The glimpses of divine vision. This compilation of Birod Papa's teachings throws light on hints that are needed to tackle daily problems as well as aid in moving towards the awareness of his presence within. Available in English, Hindi, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil and Malayalam. 35th Mahasamadhi Day of Puja Mataji Krishnabai. On 16th of February 2024, we observe Puja Mataji's 35th Mahasamadhi Day. Puja Mataji was the personification of universal love and service, as well as Guru Seva. May this be instrumental in reminding us of this great ideal. Thought for the month. Education should enable us to live for the good of others by making us shed our selfish tendencies. A very, very thought-provoking, just for the sake of understanding ourselves, whether it has conveyed anything that you have heard from this small compilation, anything that gets registered in our mind. Because in our case, we have got the book, you don't have the book. So it is purely from your...
Blueberries.
Blueberry. Good. Because he was addressing a group of 290 teachers and he was feeling the teachers are doing nonsense. The present way of education is bad. He was viewing it from this corporate style of management. He was giving a big lecture. Due to positive space, we did not add, that's all. And so when he sat down, one teacher got up and asked, suppose you hear your product is substandard, what will you do? I will get back because I want to maintain the quality of my institution. Immediately the teacher said, we cannot call back. You can call back and then dump the whole thing into the sea and produce. We can't do that. Every child who comes here with different taste, temperament, attitude, we have to manage them. It's a very thought-provoking article. It had happened. So we don't look down upon the teachers. We don't look down upon the teaching methodology. We can improve, no doubt. There may be a lot of space for improvement, but what they do is a tremendous thing. Yesterday you would have observed, tiny tots came, about 100 and odd. Just imagine to manage them. We were observing keenly. Children may not know anything, but all these teachers were very patient, loving, making them to sit, making them to in an orderly way, It is a sight to be seen. No? Yes. Then that any other point?
Education
Huh?
for the unfoldment.
Four pillars: learning to know, learning to do, learning to live together, learning to be. The well-meaning people around the globe have been watching and evaluating how far this present educational system is helping. When they knew that it is sliding back, they all put together and started analyzing and brought out this beautiful concept that education has got four pillars: learning to know, learning to do. That take care of the individual development. You learn driving, you become a driver. You learn piloting, you become a pilot. You learn medicine, you become a doctor. No? Learning to know, learning to do. But if it is not coupled with the other two, what happens? Learning to live together and learning to be. That pilot, Urmila Yadav, till 5 years back, 6 years back, she was still working.
No, she's living, Swami. She's alive.
Alive, very much
I thought
alive.
She passed away.
No. After that, we don't know. I tell you, it must have been in 4 or 5 years back when we went to, what is that place? Mani's?
Jambu.
In Himalayas.
Almora.
Almora. Correct, Almora. So when we were there, one couple from Calicut came to join us. So they took the flight from Delhi to Pantinagar. Pantinagar is the nearest airport for Almora. And from there they took the taxi and reached there. Then they were sharing. We had a very nice, loving pilot. Taking care, spending some time, unlike, they go to their seat, they come back. She was not like that. She was very, very, very passenger friendly. Then I asked, what is her name? Urmila Yadav. I said, she is an icon. We keep on telling her name. So what did she do? She was taking 48 passengers. Suddenly the nose wheel got dropped. So learning to know, learning to do. She learned piloting and she was doing the pilot job. Now, 48, things can go off her hand because the nose wheel has been dropped. She did not utter a word. In the public address system, she did not say because it will become panicky, nobody can do anything. And she had the self-confidence, to manipulate and somehow make it. And only when she slowly landed, even without informing the ground force, she maneuvered the whole thing in such a way that it goes and gets stuck, Only when the jerk came, everybody looked. Then she announced. She was given Rashtrapati Award, so many things. So here we find learning to live together. What can I do? Or she herself could have become panicky. She would have alerted the passengers, the ground people. No. These 48 passengers are flying because they have confidence in me to live with them. And they needed courage, self-confidence, will, live up to that will. So these four pillars were evident. We used to share this to children. Yes, then, so in all, not only in one.
Swami Vivekananda on education.
Unfoldment of perfection already in man. So it is not that the education is giving us something. It is touching and awakening in us what is inside. That is why the same text, the same curriculum, the same syllabus that is given to a set of people. But everybody is not same. Each one's absorbing capacity, assimilating capacity is different. So the teacher's job is to touch and awaken in the way in which he wants. We used to share with children one anecdote. A teacher took charge and he attended the first class on that academic year. That class had of the boys, one was very unruly in his behavior. So every other teacher cautioned him, he will create problem. The teacher said, okay. The moment he went there, the students were passing one book to another. Suddenly when they saw the teacher, they closed. The teacher saw this. He said, come on, bring it that. With reluctant, the teacher has seen the book, so they have to give. The moment he opened, he saw a rough caricature of his with some comments. Immediately he said, who has drawn this? There was silence. He again said, who has drawn this? Then one boy got up. The same boy who creates always problem. He said, after the classes, please meet me at the teacher's room. And he continued with his class. The boy thought he is going to punish me. So when he went there, the teacher patted on his back. You have got a wonderful capacity to draw pictures. I will give you this book. Go through it, develop it. The student got stunned. And he became a great artist. And he himself has acknowledged that I owe everything to that teacher, to whom I was trying to mock, bully him. So that is trying to unearth the potentiality, unleashing the potentialities lying dormant in it. That is the job of the teacher. Yes, then.
Water.
Huh?
Bow to God. First, let not worldly wisdom inflate you with pride.
Because we should, while the education helps us to know more and more about the creation, something should be done about the creator also, Behind each and every creation, behind each and every creature comfort, there are two, one is man-made, the other is Mother Nature made. That power. So these two, when we look at it, if we try to trace the origin, now the air we breathe, if we try to, otherwise we will be enjoying and keeping quiet. But the moment we try to trace the origin, we become humble. Before creating us, He has provided this, Without air, we cannot survive. So like that, both the Mother Nature and the creature comfort, when I use the specs, when I use the mic, when I use the shirt, when I use the chair, when I use the building, these are all creature comforts. The laptop, anything that I use, if at the subconscious level at least, if I start connecting it with the Creator, the intelligence behind it, that is real education. Otherwise it is one-sided. Yes?
Water and clock.
Water and clock, yes. That means it's only an example. Last month it was hand post and coin. Like that every month we are trying to bring two, so that we will get trained. When we see a table, what does it? I'll start probing deep. When the fan rotates, what does it? Each one can derive in their own way. Because so many dimensions will be there. Because everything has come from Him, the intelligence. And intelligence stands for expansiveness, Never it is contracted. Whatever discoveries, invention, innovation that have come out, everybody is accessible to it. Everybody has got access to it. It doesn't declare that I will only serve this person or this particular situation or this particular object. No. Unconditionally it is available. So that is why this clock and water. Yes, then
Yogakshema. Yogakshema.
yoga and Shema. The last year program, yesterday we were discussing yoga and Shema. Yoga and Shema, and the most important thing that we have elaborately discussed, yoga and Shema means outer welfare and the inner welfare. Yoga is inner welfare, union with God. Shema means outer welfare. All these two are assured by God, provided we exclusively depend upon Him. And another point that was covered that writ large on our mind is Nama chanting is for remembrance. Remembrance is for connecting ourselves with Him. Connecting ourselves will enable us to expand ourselves. See Him in everybody. And the third and important, yes. You start. Huh?
Four pillars, and this one is
four. Oh, this is also four pillar. Okay. Now, very important is His will. Normally, when we hear the word God's will, still it is a puzzle for us. We think God's will is different from our common life. Papa answers it in a very simple manner. He says everything that whatever that is happening only by God's will. And he was giving so many explanations. But Shuddhananda Swami, who was a small boy then, immediately asked, what is the will now? Tell me. What is God's will now? Papa immediately answered, yes, he wills that Ramdas should get up now, go to the carpenter shed, watch, come back to Panchavati, and stay and wait for the mail to come. That means anything that happens, in a simple way, uncomplicated way, Papa is conveying that if we start associating his dimension in anything and everything, the will is always prevalent. Now he wills that we should share this thought. Now he wills that all of you should hear. So we are not postponing.
That means whatever is happening and has been his will only, due to his will. All that doesn't happen is
we were breaking our heads to understand this will, Many people have what individual will, God's will. But in simple way, all that we have to do is, we have to closely, not here and go, do the manana and stretch this principle in anything and everything that we think, talk and do.
Because of skill of thinking.
Only then we will be able to understand.
Yes.
Everything happens, now the little act of the hand going up and down, the eyelids going up and down. Think.
Swamiji, on this Google Meet is also his will right now.
Google Meet is also his
Google Meet, everything, Our grumbling, complaining, you are not answering. Everything. Because he prompts from within. So let us try, let us not take it lightly. Every day we try to apply 5 minutes or 10 minutes for this particular purpose. Whenever we are free, we try to become aware of his will, Rest of the time we are arrogating that we are thinking, we are doing, okay, it's all right. At least in the 16 hours of our waking state, or 17 hours of our waking state, We set apart 5 minutes, Oh, this is his will. We should be able to understand. And nobody tells us we are watching and he is making us to experience his will. So it is not a dictum or a dogma or an advice or a guidance or a hint or a direction. It is self-initiated.
Now and here.
Now and here. We may to put us on the line. It is difficult. Agreed. So when we are in a passive mood, in a sober mood, when we are free from all disturbances, we sit quietly and watch and try to bring in this. Oh, that is his will that I am sitting. It is his will that I am watching. Like that, when we keep on trying, the clouds get dispersed, the unveiling takes place and becomes lit clearer and clearer and clearer. Again, we are back to...
Stress to serenity, the reference கொடுக்குறீங்க பாருங்க.
Stress to serenity.
Doctor.
Stress to serenity. He's pointing out somewhere.
Chapters, reference chapters and slokas.
Which chapter?
Heading also.
Heading. Stress to serenity. Bhagavad Gita.
So let us concentrate on this.
Yes.
And 5 minutes or 10 minutes every day, free from all text, free from all advices, free from all gurus, free from anything, because we are now trying to have, there is no curtain between us and him.
Yes.
Then only this will can be understood.
Swamiji, அலங்காரம் முடிஞ்ச உடனே ஸ்கிரீன் வர மாதிரி. Swamiji, அலங்காரம் முடிஞ்ச உடனே ஸ்கிரீன் எடுத்துடுற மாதிரி.
Kalama, what do you want? Kala auntie.
Yes, Swamiji, we want to do some work thoroughly. But we slip and forget something and do some mistakes. It's also his will, Swamiji. No,
I tell you, no. No, again our intellect is interpreting. We try, sit 5 minutes and try this. Let us put ourselves on a process and see what happens. Will not allow the intellect to interpret.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Because if you go through, again we are bringing his words. Better we will stop that word. Because it again goes on. He has said, this is what they say. We are now trying to have a one-to-one relationship with God. We are trying to have a one-to-one relationship with God by trying to understand his will through us. Here nobody else is there. Only me, the sense of individuality, and he, the force behind the sense of individuality, are there. So let us leave everything aside. We will not bring any references. Papa is pushing us now. My will. It's a very important word. Previously we were just repeating it, Control C, Control V, without having any deep dent in our mind. God's will, we analyze. My will, God's will, all those things. Rights and wrongs, this and that. In that process we lose. We lose the process of enjoying or experiencing the will of his. So 5 minutes or 10 minutes we set apart every day when we are alone, when we are undisturbed. Just like Papa could say that Ramdas will get up now, go to the carpenter's shed, come back and wait for this. That is his will. Please think over. Next moment, what happens? That is his will. Through he gets this done. He executes this will through the equipment he has given to us. Through the equipment he has given to us, namely the body, mind, intellect equipment. So he is now executing his will through this equipment. Every moment, unerringly. If this we cultivate, the first stanza also becomes clear, Yogaksema. Ananya Chintayanto Mam. No? So that means Ananya Chintayanto, only me and he are there. It's a wonderful, no? The moment we were going through that during the Satsang period, it was a thrilling moment for all of us. Because he has put it in a very simple way, which is a profound, deep subject, but in a most understandable way. He did not give a long lecture. The question was straight put to him. Okay, you are talking about will of God, God's will of God, God's will alone prevails, our will does not prevail, all those things. Acha, now what is his will? Immediately Papa smilingly said, yes. Now his will is that Ramdas will get up, he will go to the carpenter shed, watch, come back, wait for the mail. Suddenly, anything that is happening, it is stitched to God's dimension. Instead of the mind arrogating that I will get up, I will go to carpenter shed, after looking at it, I will come back and I will wait for that. No, there is a beautiful transformation. He has scaled the height so he could spontaneously bring that and share it with us. But as aspirants or sadhakas, it gives us a clue. Why not we try?
Learning to be means what, Swami? Learning to be?
Learning to be courageous.
Learning to be means courageous.
To make it a practice, Suppose you have learned so many things, self-confidence, all those things. How does it become a reality? You become that, Learning to be. When you identify yourself completely with the interest of others, spontaneously the capacity comes, to do that particular act. We used to share on that particular aspect. Suppose I have learned auto rickshaw driving and I become an auto rickshaw driver. You are the passenger. You are getting into the auto rickshaw from the ashram and your train is at about, say, 4:45. Hardly we have got 10 minutes to reach. So you are, you are excited, you are telling me, please ensure that I reach there before 4:45. I said, okay. I try to take the auto rickshaw, go to Mavangar and try to reach the town. Suddenly there is a big procession coming. Political procession. So then, according to everybody's estimate, it will take minimum 10 minutes for the procession to go. I become panicky, I become upset. I said, what will I do? Wait. Don't worry, I will take you there. He takes a different route. And by 4:44, he puts me at the station. And then he saw the train coming. He immediately took my luggage, came to the platform, and he was moved. Then he gives me his fare. I did not even look at it and put it in my mind. Learning to know, learning to do, learning to live together. This expertise, this skill has been given to me by him to serve him in the form, who is coming in the form of passenger. And I bring out the dexterity in me, the perfection in me, the capacity in me to handle the situation skillfully. That is why immediately take this route. Your anxiety is that somehow he should get into the train. And immediately you see the train coming, the man will be upset. So you yourself take it and go there. And the man was moved, touched. Ultimately he gives something much more than your usual fare. See the effect? So when you stretch these 4 pillars in every field, many doctors, when they treat, the patient may not be having money. They give, in Wayanad we have seen that he will give from his and then buy this, Learning to know, learning to do, learning to live together, learning to be. So in every profession, if we stretch, Whatever we do, suppose you have got a good hand in English, somebody wants to write a petition, immediately they come to you, you beautifully write it, no? And then hand it over to him. He doesn't know how to do it. Then you are minutely telling, I will post it, you sign here, boss. And you put it in a cover, registered, all those things, and you are putting it there. You have got the skill comes out, you know. The dexterity, the efficiency, it comes out in its fullest form. More of it day after tomorrow. Monday, okay.
Kalandi.
Enna?
No, Kalandi wants to ask something. From that time she's telling Swamiji.
Ennaji?
Swamiji, நமக்கு நிறைய ரிஃப்ளெக்ஷன் மனனா நிதித்தியாசனா பண்ணிட்டே இருந்தாதான் கொஞ்சமானும்.
ஆமாம். பாப்பா சொல்லிக்கிட்டே இருக்கார். Be reflective and meditative. The more you become reflective, the more you move closer to him. These are his precious words. Superficially hearing, superficially going will not help. Assimilation and absorption into our thinking system, that alone can guide us further. So manana is essential.
அவரோட கிரேஸ் நமக்கு
அவரோட கிரேஸ் இருக்கு, அதனால தானே பேசுகிறோம். Grace is not something separate. The moment we remember him, the grace is on us. It's not separate. Grace is not coming from outside. Okay. More of it on Monday. Monday is on 22nd. Oh, more on 22nd. 22nd Ayodhya consecration. Okay. On that day we will try to dwell upon the Saguna aspect and Nirguna aspect of worship. Because in Saguna aspect, a great function is going to be held in Ayodhya. And something unimaginable. So probably for us, it is a reminder to know about the Saguna aspect and the Nirguna aspect. And also to never to belittle anything, at the same time holding on to the Nirguna aspect and simultaneously revering the Saguna aspect. More of it we will try to dwell on Monday. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Om